Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. From today onwards, we are creating a new series for the students or people who want to learn C++ even though if they don't know anything about it. So let's start. First of all, let us learn some basic regarding the language. It was developed by Ernest Rostroff and it is a high-level language. For any programming language, you have to first understand the editor. In C++, the editors are differentiated on the basis of compilers they are using. Mainly, there are two compilers, MinGW and Borland. The Borland compiler is used by Turbo C++ and MinGW by many of them. Let's see how to install the editor. For Dev C++ that is based on MinGW compiler, you have to go to Google and type Dev C++. Then go to the first link, that is by sourceforge.in. Install it. Also the link is in the description below. Now let's see how the editor user interface looks like. Let's create a new file by clicking on the File tab. The program consists of three sections. Firstly, header file, secondly, your program functions, and last, the main function of the program. Now many of you might be thinking that what is this header file? Like in Python language, we import modules. Similarly, in the C++ language, we import header files. But both means different. They are not actually the same. There are basically two operators, input operator and output operator. You can understand the cin and cout as cin for input from a computer and cout as output on the computer. The main function is like this. You have to write code like this since the function is an integer type, so we have to return something. So on default, let we say we return 0. Let's save the file and be very sure that you keep the extension at .cpp. You can understand the .cpp as .c++. Let's add a line for output as we want to print hello on the screen. So let's write cout and the operator sign for output and in double quotes hello. And lastly, add a terminator. We have to add a header file as cout is defined in that. Cout is defined in iostream.h. You can understand the iostream.h as input output stream.h. Also, a header file naming conio.h is for getCH function. We have to include that also. Also guys, write this line after including your header files, that is using namespace std with a terminator sign. Now let's compile and run your program. Now let's see what is different in between Turbo C++ and Dev C++. So open Turbo C++ in your computer and create a new file. Let's add the same code that we just wrote now and compile and run your program. Only the difference you will notice that we do not add the namespace code line, but the program runs without any error. the Turbo C++ might only run on your device because on the new devices it is very difficult to run the DOSBox based applications like Turbo C++. So we will use Dev C++ only. That will work fine with most of the devices. Now let's understand that what is this terminator and why are we adding this after every piece of line of code. Let's take an example. When we finish a line in English, we used to write full stop. Similarly, in C++, we have to write this terminator so as to compiler can understand that the work of a line or a part of program is finished and it will not give any error.